You are assigned to labor in the South Africa, Cape Town.
Am I really in like Africa right now? Like, what is going on?
The determination to get back, the drive to want to be a part of something and to show that I can still play.
You know, it's actually unfortunate. About 2 months ago, our mission president, he banned weights.
On your mission, I mean, you are dedicated to one thing, and that's God. You come back from your mission, and then when you play college football, that's what you're dedicated to.
You know, a piece of my heart is always in South Africa. I've waited a long time, you know, over 2 years really, since I decided I want to go to BYU.
My advice would be family, faith, and football. Since the time he could crawl, he loved throwing a basketball or football, anything he could throw.
He played quarterback, safety. He played pretty much every position even then, and he played a lot with the same friends throughout even high school.
That was always exciting to see his passion at such an early age for football. The one thing about Dane is he's always been a student of the game.
Christensen, 1st and 10 from his own 10. He's got plenty of time. He's got Newcomb deep, looking for Isaiah. Makes the catch inside the 50, races to the outside, inside the 20, inside the 10, 90 yards for the lead. Are you kidding?
When I was a freshman or a sophomore in high school, I began, I guess, to be more open to the idea that, you know, maybe this is a real possibility. But in high school, it was really like, okay, this could be a legit opportunity. And I always loved football and wanted to play for as long as I could.
He definitely is our boy that has the greatest work ethic. Whether it was from practicing the piano or doing whatever sport it is, he gives it his all. He puts everything into it.
It was really neat to see his maturity as a football player from that little age of 5, then to 10, and then by the time he graduated from Castile.
My recruitment was a roller coaster, to be honest. You know, I would talk to a lot of different coaches from a lot of different schools, but really didn't receive the offers that I kind of thought I would. I know everything's according to God's plan. I mean, I'm a normal person. You know, you see all these other people getting offers and all this stuff, and you start to ask yourself a little bit like, why not me type of stuff. But you just, I don't know, you just trust and keep going, you work. And the opportunity for BYU presented itself just after my senior year.
Dane has always had the faith and determination and just is confident and said, it'll work out.
A mission is basically a time where you leave everything behind and go serve God. And I think it's different from other churches because for us it's kind of like a responsibility.
My parents weren't forcing me to go on a mission. My parents weren't forcing me to go to college first. You know, it was all up to me. But then, you know, you're talking to different coaches wanting you to do different things.
The recruiting process and the mission process is really, really hard. I mean, to be able to decide to go on a mission and decide where to go to college or if a college is going to offer you because they might not be there in 2 years, so the stability of your offer or the availability of it isn't set.
I didn't know a lot about the mission situation, and so I came in with some freshmen that played with me my freshman year, and then they left on a 2-year mission, and they come back, and I'm a senior now at that point, you know, so it was different for sure with some of that, and it's changed now. You know, there's other colleges that kind of understand the mission system and allow kids to go and to come back and still be able to play football for them.
If we know a young man wants to serve a mission, we'll recruit him the exact same way that we would if he wasn't going to serve. So instead of the young man coming in your program that year, you project him for 2 years later, and you obviously got to balance the numbers and make sure that you have a scholarship available for him when he gets back.
You go through a change, you really do, and it's a maturity change. And for me personally, I don't know if I was ready for college football coming out of high school, right? I don't know if I had that growing up stage yet.
It was definitely something that I've kind of always planned on doing. Grew up planning on serving a mission early in the recruiting process. Started telling coaches I'm going to graduate in 2018, but I won't be back until 2020 because I'm going to serve a mission. This is why.
Just the struggles of life, which everyone needs to go through, you do it at an earlier age, which is awesome. So then, and you're older when you get home, right? So you're just 2 years ahead of the freshmen coming in, which is a great thing to be. But that maturity thing is what I remember most about my mission.
You know, I made it a matter of prayer, and finally it just felt right to me to, you know what, decide to go on a mission. The Lord will take care of you.
With the certain offers that came in, we said maybe, you can go play football for 4 years and then go on a mission if you still want to. And he was just kind of said, nope, I want to do the mission and then have football.
Yeah, after talking to a lot of people, praying and feeling what was right, it was to go on a mission and see what happens after that.
I'm so grateful to be able to serve a mission, and I'm so excited to go serve him for 2 years and give my life up for him. Dear Elder Christensen, you are hereby called to serve as a missionary of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. You are assigned to labor in the South Africa, Cape Town.
I was scared. I was nervous, never going there before. When you open your call, you have about 3 or 4 months before you actually leave. And so I had opened my call, but it didn't really feel real, I guess, that I was leaving for 2 years.
Dane was always set on a mission, like Tiffany said. He didn't, at the very end, I wasn't sure when, but it didn't take very long because he'd made that decision ahead of time. And so whatever outside noise was coming, he knew that again it would just work out.
Dane Leo Christensen.
I did, 1 week of the training center here at home online, and then I was in Provo for 2 weeks doing the missionary training. And then it was after that I went to South Africa.
It brings back tears just thinking about it. It's hard to send your kids off knowing they're going that far away and not having the opportunity to see them for 2 years. But as a parent, when you see the growth and what it does for your kid to think of others instead of himself, it makes it all worth it. So you do it again.
It's not easy. Sending a son or a daughter on a mission and not knowing the land for where they're going or not knowing the people with whom they'll be with, it requires a lot of faith.
I must be honest, when I left, when I got to Provo and I said goodbye to my family, that was probably the worst day of my life. But yeah, then it took me like 36 hours to get there, flew to Atlanta, then Amsterdam, and then to Cape Town. So a lot of travel, a lot of time to think about it, really, really long flight.
On the airplane, and the captain comes over the speaker, and he's like, flight attendants, prepare for our initial descent into Cape Town, or whatever they say. When those words came out of his mouth and I heard it, I was like, oh man, this is really happening,
It was late, and I just remember laying in bed, it's like midnight, and I'm like, am I really in Africa right now? What is going on?
The next day, at about 4 p.m., I got on another airplane, took about an hour flight to a place called Port Elizabeth.
This is South Africa for you.
From there, I had to drive 2 more hours to the place I'm currently in, which is called Grahamstown, Eastern Cape.
He was the very furthest missionary from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints headquarters. He was over 10,000 miles away, and that's a long ways away.
It's a sheep liver. You got it?
Mm-hmm. It was tough, I had good times. I had really good companions, so that made it easier. But just adjusting to life as a missionary, it's a completely different lifestyle than, what I was used to here at home.
Our day-to-day is, we wake up at 6:30, we work out, eat breakfast, kind of prepare for the day. and then we study our scriptures personally for an hour. So I live with, one other elder. And so as a companionship, we plan for the day, and then we hold a companionship study and study together. And then by then, and it's usually about 10:30 or 11 o'clock, we drive out to what we call our area, the area that we work in. And we're there from about 12 or 1 till about 8 or 9 at night. And it's just meeting with, different people, teaching them, members of our church and non-members of our church.
I thought that working out on my mission and preparing for football would be pretty easy, but I was so tired. I mean, because we work a lot, we'd work until like 10 p.m. And then we'd wake up and, do 30 minutes of exercise. There was times where I could only do like some push-ups and sit-ups just because I didn't want to run because I was so tired.
It's kind of different for different missions. So we had 30 minutes to exercise in the morning, and it's pretty hard to go to a park and throw and come back and just fit everything in.
It's actually unfortunate. About 2 months ago, our mission president, the guy who oversees our mission, he banned weights from our apartments, just because elders were dropping them on the floor and cracking and ruining tiles and stuff. And you just find different ways to exercise. I still work out every morning. I go for a little run right outside here, a lot of body weight stuff. So, trying to put on muscle, but it's a little hard because you don't have those weights. It's a lot of body weight stuff.
So it's all up to the mission president, right? He's the one that sets the rules for the missionaries in that area. Luckily, I had an amazing mission president who saw future past the mission of what I wanted to do, what I wanted to accomplish on the football field.
Definitely did my best trying to wake up at 6:30 and get a little workout in. It was tough as far as resources.
As far as football goes in training, I would really throw, once a week on the Monday, because there's more time to do things. That was our preparation day, kind of our day to not do missionary work and to do our shopping and other things. So sometimes I would try to teach them how to play American football. And this would make no sense to them. They're like, I don't know why you guys play it like this. This is so weird, all this stuff. So anyway, rugby is cool, it's fun, but football is definitely better.
We would definitely every week ask Dane, hey, were you able to throw with someone? Did you throw with today?
So I served in Grahamstown, and then I served in an area called Dansani, and then I served in George, and then I served in Cape Town, in an area called Mowbray. You grow in different areas, you meet different people that you were supposed to meet, and have experiences you're supposed to have. George was a great area for me. I loved it. I was there for 4.5 months. And I had found a lot of success in my previous area in Dansani. And so, I felt like I was in my groove. I knew what I was doing, feeling really good. And then I got to George, and the work was super slow. That part was a little bit tough, but super humbling. And I know I needed to serve there as a crucial part of my mission.
That translates to the football field. I mean, you just don't watch and see if someone else is going to pick up the ball and run with it. He takes charge.
My last area in Cape Town was a great experience. I had a couple of different responsibilities as a missionary, doing different things, helping different missionaries, helping the mission president. But Cape Town is super cool because there's so many different people from so many different places.
Dane's always had a big heart, but I think that it's grown even more serving a mission, that he's found a way to love even bigger and greater, which I think will roll over to the football field.
I knew that the Lord would take care of me. I wasn't, working out for as long as I thought or throwing as much as I wish I could have been able to. But I knew that what I was doing was right, and that no matter what happened, I would be taken care of.
About a week before he came home, our whole family thought, this is happening. This is real. Dana's coming home.
It's the weirdest feeling ever. I don't feel like I'm old enough on mission to go home. I feel like I just got here. Like, am I really going home in a couple months? It's surreal. I mean, I'm excited to go home. I'm excited for the next chapter.
Yeah, it's one of the greatest moments you can have as a parent, just seeing your kid again and knowing the growth and changes that they experienced over 2 years.
It's always something as a missionary you look forward to so much, is the day that you get to come home and see your family again. And so I landed in Phoenix. So I get off the plane, I turn the corner, and it kind of just felt like a dream. I was home again. I was with my family. They're all obviously very happy. Got to hug my mama, and that was something that I'll never ever forget.
To see him come around the corner of that airport and wrap your arms around him, he felt strong. He felt strong spiritually. He felt strong physically. And I looked at him. And I told him he'd grown in both ways. And I'm proud of him.
While the future and, you're super excited to get home and see your family and play football, a piece of my heart is always in South Africa.
Yeah, he didn't miss a beat. He, with the time change, we thought he'd be, severely jet lagged and really struggle, but he just kind of has rolled from the moment he got off and set his goals of working out every day and throwing the football and doing trainings, and that's who he is. And so he's going to press forward with his goals and do what it takes to, be that number one QB on BYU's football team.
Yeah, so just really, back in the gym, trying to get bigger and stronger and faster every single day. I did my best in South Africa, but it's good to be in the weight room again. And so I'm looking to put on, muscle, get a little bit bigger, and prepare myself for when I do go up to BYU.
You just have to have a little patience with the players, and in today's world that's hard at times because of the transfer portal and all those things. But for Dane, he wants to be there. He's willing to walk on and give it a go, and they're willing to have that spot for him. And so I know there'll be some trying times, some impatience in there, but overall I think he's in for the long haul.
On your mission, you are dedicated to one thing, and that's God. And then you come back from your mission, and then when you play college football, that's what you're dedicated to. And I've seen, a lot of younger guys that come in, they're not really as dedicated. They don't really understand the team aspect,
There's a maturity to your team, a certain maturity and a certain stability. And typically when those guys come back, you don't have to worry about those guys. They're going to go to class. They're going to work hard in the weight room. And so there's a lot of positives to it.
It feels good, honestly. I don't feel like I've lost too much as far as what I was 2 years ago as I've been throwing.
Patience is the biggest thing for him right now. He wants to be right in there, and he would want to be at camp in August with the team if he could. But when he was in high school, he was the guy for 2 years, and so now it's starting as the low man on the totem pole. Be humble, be a good teammate, learn as much as you can as quick as you can, and I think he's got a great demeanor for that as well.
In the mission field, people, struggle, and you have these difficult times, but same thing in the locker room and on the field. Not everything goes perfectly. Bad plays, bad camaraderie, whatever the case may be. I just feel like the experiences on my mission help me handle those situations better. And take kind of a different approach to seeing everything with a positive light.
My advice would be family, faith, and football. I think as he keeps those priorities in line, he remembers God, he remembers his Savior, Jesus Christ, remembers his family, and he competes hard on the football field. Everything else will take care of itself.
I want people to think that Dane Christensen is a great friend and great leader. A competitor, someone who wants to win and will do everything necessary to do that, but also someone who is kind and who cares about people. I've waited a long time, over 2 years really, since I decided I want to go to BYU. I cannot wait to put on the blue and the white, and it's getting closer and closer, and I just cannot wait.